As you take and look up in front here, you'll see that there's a number of people that have joined us here in the tabletop, and there's a special, this is a special evening, there's no doubt about that. 3 years ago, on January 6th, a individual that has been close to snowmobile racing his entire life was killed in a snowmobiling incident at a race. His name, Hunter Houle. And joining us up here, Steve and Charlene, thank you so very much. Of course, they started a foundation, the Hunter Houle Foundation, and as I talked to Charlene earlier, Charlene said he was such a wonderful person. He loved to share with everyone and was so giving in that, and so the foundation was started. And also with us is Miranda. Miranda is on the board, and Miranda, it's just amazing what this foundation stands for and what Hunter and the family stands for and the entire foundation and what they've been able to do.
Yeah, definitely. I think that as far as like a board member and everyone around us, we're so surprised by all the support, not only from the snowmobile community, but everyone else surrounding him kind of gathering together. And each year the foundation has grown, and we're able to help more organizations and more individuals that just kind of match our foundation's values of helping children, and whether that's within organizations within Hunter's community or within the snowmobile organization.
And, you know, I looked at some of the places that donations have been made. They've been made to the University of Minnesota Hospital, the Children's Network there, to homeless youth, to Make-A-Wish. The list goes on and on. Boy, you know, what a giving foundation. And Hunter was like that. He was a giving person.
Yeah, he was definitely way more mature beyond his years and just a kind soul since he was a little kid. So being able to help his legacy live on is pretty amazing.
And that's, you know, so hard when somebody that special's life is cut short, but to know that he's with us here tonight and is smiling down on another great evening and another great donation that we'll make here in a couple of moments.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We just hope to continue to grow this and just make an impact every single year, just in Hunter's honor.
Thank you. Again, as we indicated, just hold a second here, Dwight. Dwight always jumping to it. Dwight Christian is on the board, and of course Hunter's brother is with us. Steve and Charlene, as we indicated, Hunter's mom and dad, Marissa. Jeremy Houle, I've known you since you were about this big in snowmobile racing. And I want to get a couple of other guys down here if I can step in front of you, and that would be Levi Lavallee and Scotty Judnick. You know, it was a while back that Jake Venata and a few other people had this wild hair to put together this FXR mobile medical team. It's been pretty big for our sport, hasn't it?
It's been huge. You know, the snowmobile medical team has been just instrumental in keeping the riders safe out there on the track. You know, if they get in an injury or an incident, they're able to go there and have medical care immediately instead of having to take the ambulance to the hospital to have something looked at. They can look at it right now and say, okay, this is serious or this is not, and they can tend to it a lot better. So it's a huge thing for snowcross.
And it's staffed by Dr. Parsons or another doctor, usually that come from some type of trauma center, so they're well versed in some of the incidents that we have. Dr. Odom has worked with us. We have sports trainers. We have RN nurses that work in there. It's just a great staff, and you know, by the end of the year, we find a lot of people in there just kind of getting taped up and you know, getting straightened away so they can get out on a racetrack.
That's the truth. I mean, the guys will come in there for or ankle tape from, you know, wrist injuries, anything like that. And I think the beauty of it too is you go there not knowing what kind of injury you have. They have an extra machine to say, hey, it's not broke, and you don't have to go to the hospital and have that additional expense. And then a lot of guys actually are like, hey, well, I'm okay. I can go back and race. So keeping guys out on the track, which is great.
Jody, why don't you step down here a bit? I know that you had racers that have stopped over there before, and you're a huge supporter of this and are on the board. Again, just it's so good for our sport.
It's incredible. We look back now and wonder, how did we ever do this without having a mobile medical staff and people here that can take care of our guys. Last year, one of my racers broke his back here, and they were instrumental of getting him off the track safely on the backboard, treat him right. He was over in the hospital here for a couple weeks, and he's back racing today for us, and it just, you don't even know what to say. So
I know Carson, he always talks highly of them, what they did for him, and that's huge.
It is, and we're fortunate to have him back. But for all these kids that are out here, of course, you don't ever want to see anybody get hurt. And then to have the Hunter Houle Foundation and that family putting back into this to keep these racers, help keep them safe and get them back out there. It's incredible. It's an honor to be part of it.
Right. Well, let's do this. If we could have Miranda, why don't you come up here, and now why don't you come down here, Dwight? As I indicated, the Hunter Houle Foundation before has already given $10,000 to the FXR Mobile Medical Group, and they have another presentation tonight. Miranda?
Yes, tonight we would like to contribute another $10,000 to the Mobile Medical Unit on behalf of the Hunter Houle Memorial Foundation.
Juddy, why don't you and Levi take the check here? And man, I'll tell you what. So that's in the past 2 years, that's $20,000, Juddy, that they've given to this great organization.
That's something. That's just crazy. It's so awesome, and it kind of takes your breath away.
Juddy, I know you well, and to see you kind of getting choked up a bit, I know how important this is. And again, we want to thank the entire Houle family, Steve, Charlene. His legacy will live on forever, you know that. He's just a wonderful man. He had great parents, he had great family, and his brothers, and the people that were around him, and he just keeps going on, and we keep remembering him for what he was. Thank you very much. So, the Hunter Houle Foundation giving another $10,000 to the FXR Mobile Medical Group, and that's $20,000 in the last 2 years. A group that works on donations alone, and that's super. Congratulations, guys.
Thanks, Mike.